Hi artists, my name is Heather Duncan and today we are going to be using oil pastels to do this awesome Ted Harrison inspired landscape. Here's two examples. Ta-da! Yeah, and they look different, don't they? And that's okay, because all of ours are going to look different. Yours is going to look different than mine too, so that's completely fine. Ted Harrison is an amazing artist. He is from England, but he lived most of his life in Great Britain, or excuse me, in Canada. He lived in Canada, north of Alaska, so that kind of region of Canada, northwest region. And he painted the Yukon. And that is a mountainous region with huge, beautiful skies with sunsets, beautiful mountains, beautiful lakes, just a gorgeous landscape. And so a lot of his art is inspired by that landscape. So that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to use his artwork to inspire us to paint, or actually draw with oil pastels, a landscape today. All right, I'm so glad you're here to join me. Let's start by going over today's materials. Our material list today is very short. We just need some black paper, and really, you could do this on white if you wanted, but I like to do it on black paper because I like to use the white background or white border, and then we're going to be using some oil pastels. These are the oil pastels that I'm using, but you can use your own oil pastels, whatever you have on hand at your house, okay? Let's go over the process that we're going to take to do our work. Okay, as we're looking at our work here, first we're going to draw out our landscape using our white oil pastel. After we're done with that, we're going to basically color in all of these blocks of color using a single color with shades of blues and purples and pinks for the sky and some greens and browns for the mountain, okay? I like to kind of put a sunset in my work too. Ted Harrison really liked to draw the sun. So I like to use that as inspiration for my piece also. The last step we're going to take is we're going to go over these white lines of after we've colored everything in. We're going to go over the lines one more time just to really make them pop off the paper, okay? I'm going to take my white or oil pastel, not chalk, but oil, and I'm going to draw a horizon line. A horizon line is the center of our paper. Well, it doesn't have to be the center of our paper, but it's going to today. But it's basically the line that distinguishes the sky from the land, okay? That's called a horizon line. Move my paper up a little bit. And then I'm going to come over here. I think I'm going to put my sun right here in this little dip. Now, you can put your sun wherever you like. My paper's moving on me. Maybe I should tape it down. And Ted Harrison also would kind of draw some different rings around his sun sometimes. Maybe I'll do 3. I haven't done 3, maybe. There we go. And then we're going to draw some clouds. And he just kind of do this. And I encourage you to look up his work. It's really beautiful. Have a cloud coming back here behind the sun. Okay, there we go. Oh, looks so good. Now we're going to draw our landscape. And the way we're going to do that is we're just going to draw some hills down here. And maybe I'm going to draw one like this. And then draw one more line like that. Okay? So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 kind of layers on my ground. And then I have a few layers up top here. And I might even bring some lines like this over so I can be breaking that sky up into different colors. Ted Harrison used a lot of color blocking, which is one of my favorite things, but yeah. Okay, we're gonna start with the sky and work our way down, because if we color down here and then move up here, our hand will mix all of our colors. So we wanna be really careful not to do that, okay? And just come in here, and you're gonna have to press pretty firmly sorry, my hand is in the way here, but for this top piece, it's kind of important for me to hold that paper down. You're gonna have to press pretty firmly to make sure your color shows up on the paper. If you press real lightly, that's why some of my oil pastels are broken, because if I press too firmly, then they break. Okay, there's that, and I'm going to use my light blue for some of these clouds. Like this. And just make sure you're pressing real firm on that. It's good practice, builds our muscles, our finger muscles, which I guess are important, right? We want to have good, strong fingers so we can sign our name. Here we go. Okay, I'm gonna get another blue, come in here and do the sky. And Ted Harrison kind of worked in strips. And honestly, some of his work wasn't paint, it was actually silk that he would stretch onto the canvas, which is real interesting. It's not a method a lot of people use to make art these days. And he also liked to include people native to the Yukon in his work. So you can kind of learn when you study some of his artwork, you can kind of learn about what life is like in the Yukon for people. Okay, this is another kind of cloud that I did. Come back here. Do that. Finish with this purple because it's one of my favorite colors. I love it. I love this bright purple. I kind of tend to lean towards bright colors. There we go. Come over here. Just really get in good with that color. Awesome. And remember, we're going to go over these white lines at the end, so it's okay if they kind of get covered over, okay? Now, I'm going to take my sun. I have to be kind of careful not to make my sun look like a fried egg. Make sure that I am choosing colors that complement each other. But don't look too much like other things, you know? An artist always has to be thinking about their color choice, about what their outcome is, and honestly, sometimes you can have an idea of how you want something to look, but if you are open to how things kind of turn out, it's okay if they don't look exactly like you thought they were going to. Sometimes they look better than what you expected. I found that to be true. My own practice of art. There we go. I'm gonna flip this so that I can get to that side. And see how I kind of lost my white line there? That's okay, because we're going to go back over it, right? Not a big deal. Okay. Oh my goodness, it's looking great. I wish you could, you need to, after you're done with this, go look up Ted Harrison's work and just see what it looks like. I promise you, you're going to be amazed at how yours looks like his work too. There we go. Sorry, keep moving that, don't I? I will try not to. There we go. Color in this green. Makes me think of the green grass that soon will be turning. It's about to be cooler. I got to visit Colorado this summer and see some really pretty mountains, but they definitely didn't have like green grass. They were full of trees. So, okay. I think I'm gonna do this next one, this dark green. Like that. Color that in. Okay. You can go. We can finish. Okay, I'm just finishing this over here. My green definitely broke, keeping it together in this paper. But maybe you broke one or two also. But that's okay. You know? We have a beautiful piece of work because of it. Okay, now I'm gonna take a brown. I always like to kind of add some brown into my landscape when I'm doing one of these because I like the contrast of the brown with the green. And did you know oil pastels were actually made for kids? The texture of them and all of that were made for kids to use. It's kind of neat. There we go. Awesome. And then we're going to finish with this light green. There we go. Okay, we've applied all of our color. Now what's the next step? Do you remember? Well, if you said coloring using our white oil pastel to go over the lines, you're right. That's our last step. Okay? I'm going to take my white oil pastel and I'm just going to come over these lines and I'm just going to retrace my original lines. Do you see that? Just really makes it pop off the page. Yeah. Looks great. I'm gonna make my circle. Oops. So cool. I bet yours looks really good too. This is really good. Like I said earlier, this is really good practice for our muscles. This is just difficult work. Drawing these thick lines. But so worth it. Awesome. Okay, guys. Here we are. Look. Ta-da! Our finished product looks so good. I'm so happy with it. Oh my gosh. I just love the orange sun contrasting with the purple and the blue sky. It looks really, really good. I bet Ted Harrison would be proud of us today. He would be. All right, artists, thank you so much for joining me in this space today. I hope you had fun getting creative, trying something new. It's always good for us, isn't it? It really is. So, good job today, and I can't wait to see you back next time.